The early 2010s saw a takeover of young pop stars and music groups, all marketed towards the youth of the time. Of course, we all remember One Direction, Bieber Fever, and Ariana Grande's rise to fame. For many black youths at the time, musical acts such as Diggy Simmons, Jacob Lattimore, and Mindless Behavior all aided in shaping our childhood. While these boys were captivating to many young girls across America, one of the most mesmerizing groups to emerge during this time was the all-girl group curated by Tamika Tiny Harris, known as the OMG Girlz. The colorful aesthetics and the trendy fashions adorned by the girls gave them a real-life Bratz doll look that appealed and marketed towards many of the young black girls of the early 2010s. But before the OMG Girls became the eye-catching trio that we all came to know and love, the group underwent many developments to ensure that they were ready to dominate the music scene. Tamika Harris, professionally known as Tiny, began developing this group with her daughter Zonnique in mind as she noticed her natural love for singing and dancing as a child. Tiny went on to recruit more girls for her growing group, which is how Bahja Rodriguez and her younger sister Lourdes eventually joined the group. Finally, Reginae Carter, the oldest child of rap icon Lil Wayne, was also recruited to be a part of the group. Each girl had their own moniker to match their musical persona, as Zonnique was known as Star, Bahja was Beauty, Lourdes was Lolo, and Reginae was, of course, Baby Carter. The four girls went on to release a handful of tracks during these early days, including a cover of Soulja Boy's Pretty Boy Swag titled Pretty Girl Bag, as well as one of my personal favorites, Ain't Enough. Despite the four girls' ability to create absolute bangers together in the 2010s, Reginae's father was developing his own label at the time and felt it would be best for Reginae to pursue music under the Young Money label. Thus, Baby Carter departed from the group. Lourdes was also eventually let go from the group as she was deemed too young compared to the other two girls at the time. Both Lourdes and Reginae went on to pursue their own music careers after leaving the group. With only two members remaining, the group knew that in order to continue, they would need to cast another member, thus they planned to host auditions. The girls' then bodyguard showed them a video of his niece, a young Brianna, dancing on YouTube, and the group knew immediately that they wanted her to be the third member of the OMG Girls. Brianna was then flown out all the way from her hometown in Alabama to Atlanta to officially join the group as Baby Doll. With all three girls assembled with their colorful and unique hairstyles, as well as their eye-catching fashions on par with the superstars of the time such as Nicki Minaj, Katy Perry, and Lady Gaga, the new and improved OMG, or officially Misguided Girls, were ready to take over the music scene. In order to build a fan base for themselves, the girls were able to go on the Scream Tour in 2011 alongside other teen icons at the time such as Diggy Simmons, Jacob Lattimore, and most notably, Mindless Behavior. Performing on tour greatly aided in the group's success at the time as they were able to garner fans for themselves as well as preview their music. The trio of girls went on to sign with Interscope Records after the tour and released two singles while under the label. Gucci This, Gucci That was the first single released in February of 2012, and thanks to the help of shows such as 106 & Park, the song was broadcasted to hundreds of thousands of houses and became arguably the group's most notable song to date. Following the success of Gucci This, Gucci That, the group went on to release their second single, Where Them Boys At, which solidified their fun, girly, and carefree sound and approach within their music. With only two major songs out, the girls became role models and icons for many young teens during the early 2010s. The girls went on to tour again and continued to build a fan base and preview their music. One of the songs that they went on to preview while on tour was titled Loverboy and eventually became the group's most highly anticipated single at the time. In several interviews, the girls claimed that they did plan to release a full studio album in October of 2012, yet due to differences with the label, the album never came to fruition. While not much was officially said as to why the album was never released at the time, it is believed that the girls were wanting to make more mature music as they were getting older, and that was just not exactly what the label had in mind for them. Despite these tribulations, the OMG Girls continued to release music throughout 2013 and 2014, including their tracks Baddie and Can't Stop Loving You, yet none of their later releases met the same success of their first two. It was around this time that the group as a whole was beginning to lose momentum as a lot of their hype was dying down. The group was growing more and more inconsistent when it came to releasing new music, and without a proper studio album, there wasn't much to keep people engaged. On top of all of this, many of the young fans that they made when the group initially started were also beginning to grow up, and they began seeking more mature music for themselves. The OMG Girls attempted to grow with their audience, and they put out a handful of songs possessing a more adult tone to it, such as Boy It's Over. 2014 marked the last official music release of the decade for the OMG Girls, as the group officially disbanded a year later in 2015. The girls have stated in various interviews that the main reason for the group split was simply due to each girl wanting to pursue their own solo career. They stated that after making music as a group for so many years, they purely just wanted to experience the music scene as a solo artist. The group's disbandment encouraged the girls to drop their monikers and began simply going by Zonnique, Bahja Rodriguez, and Just Bree. Bahja Rodriguez began releasing solo music as early as 2015 with tracks such as Lipstick and Jealous Type. Bahja's approach to music is very sultry and R&B inspired. She continued to remain fairly active and consistent within her solo career, releasing 4 projects between 2015 and 2023. Zonnique also began her solo career in 2015, releasing various singles that year alone, such as None for Free and Heartbreakin'. Zonnique also released 2 of her own EPs, one in 2017 and the other in 2023, displaying her soft vocals as well as her pop R&B sound. In 2020, Zonnique gave birth to her daughter Hunter and continues to balance motherhood with her music career. Finally, Brianna began releasing music under the name Just Bree and released a handful of songs on her own, most notably Workin' With Some. Bree continues to rap, but she's also displayed her singing abilities with tracks such as Selfish, and she stated that she would like to try acting one day. Each girl was seemingly content with their solo endeavors at the time, but was reunited in 2023 after the group was involved in a lawsuit. Founders of the group, T.I. and Tiny, sued the toy maker MGA as they claimed the brand's LOL Surprise OMG line of dolls was inspired by the likeness of the OMG Girls. Honestly, there is a lot to unpack with this lawsuit that I am not going to cover today, but long story short, the group did lose the lawsuit to MGA. Despite losing the lawsuit, simply being together again after so many years inspired the girls to reignite the group. Before the group could reignite their musical career, the group's name underwent a very small revamp, simply going by the name OMG in order to set them apart from their past childhood music. Then, in order to truly get the ball rolling for the official OMG comeback, the group dropped their highly anticipated, long-awaited, fan favorite, Loverboy. In addition to this, the girls have been seen doing countless interviews as a trio in order to get their name out in the public once more. Most recently, the group has announced that they will be joining the Queens of R&B tour and performing across the country this summer. The new and improved OMG is seemingly ready to make their presence within the music industry known once more, finally taking on the mature themes in their music that was once holding back their official project from dropping all the way back in 2012. The girls have spoken about being excited for what is to come for them as adults within the group and do plan to release more music as a trio once more. Hi everyone! I really hope you enjoyed this mini dive into the career of the OMG Girls. I don't know about y'all, but I loved these girls when I was a kid, and there was definitely a point in time where I low-key wanted to be an OMG girl myself. Anyways, this video was a lot of fun, a little trip down memory lane, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what these girls have in store for them in the future. But I am curious to know all of you guys' thoughts on the OMG Girls. Were you guys fans back in the day? Were you looking forward to their comeback? Definitely let me know what all of you guys think. Before I sign off, I do want to say if you're interested in female rap, music conversations, music debates, music reviews, and really anything music related, definitely consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and making it this far. And I really hope I see all of you guys in the next one. Peace!